Yo, 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 it's your boy JYG coming in live. It is 0 minutes past the hour, and we are about to get this thing cracking. We got Big Daddy out in the building. Big Daddy, how you doing?
What's up, everybody? Another night of fun and laughs, and let's see what we get into tonight.
And y'all already know the troublemaker, the mischief incarnate. We got Heather G in the building. Heather, how you doing?
Hey, guys.
Hey. Oh,
y'all ready?
Who's looking all demure?
Demure.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So we got a nice little show for you guys today. We are going to be doing the nightcap exchange tonight. And what that simply means is that if anybody wants to come up, you can, because this is the night for you. So if you want to come up, the link will be put in the description, all that good stuff. But having said all that, let's go ahead and at least play the intro that we normally play, and then we're going to play a little bit of music just to let somebody guess if they're going to show up, let them get in the back. But if not, we still got a really good topic for you guys. So without further ado, it's the clue.
Hey. And I hear the bing, 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 you know, whatever.
Heather, we can hear you.
Oh, my bad, y'all. Hold on.
Jeez.
My Lord.
I was just trying to clean up my mess.
Let them get in the back was crazy. Oh my God.
What? Wait, I didn't see it. What it said?
Oh, they got it. In the building. Let them get the back was crazy.
Oh, my God.
Number one moderator. Heather.
What?
We can hear you.
Jeremy.
Oh.
We can hear you.
You can on my goddamn nerves.
You know what? You're muted.
Oh, Lord. It has begun.
I'm gonna tell you did it. Oh man. Get in trouble. All right. So, as you can tell, none of us are on screen right now because I do have the overlay on. I'm going to take the overlay off, and we are back. So, guys, let's make sure that Heather is okay. She's good to go. How was y'all day today?
It was good. Hey, it was bright and sunny, and it was actually windy today, so it wasn't like super hot. But,
right?
But yeah. I'm enjoying this weather because, man, summer's going to come in no time, and we're going to be burning up.
Hell yeah.
You're going to tell them the truth on that. What about you, Heather? How was your day before we get into the show?
I had a great day. It was real peachy.
Did you?
Yep.
Peachy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Peachy. Okay. All right. Well, guys, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get these reactions going. And after we get the reactions going, we are going to drop the link in the chat. Now, a couple of rules for the link. You can pull up with a camera, without a camera. It doesn't matter. But if you start doing crazy, I'm going to cut you. So, just letting you know. So, let's go ahead and get into this thing. But before we do that, let's do some reaction. And so the cat said, look at my videos JYG on the TBH IG. All right, so we can try to pull them up. But I don't know if y'all know today, Instagram was acting a little weird. Every time you tried to play something, it would shake it up. So that's why I pre-recorded the one for today. But I plan on hanging around a little bit afterwards. So Heather, if you can send those over to me, to my personal, and once this one is done, once we get done,
Wait, you said send you what?
the TBH IG account. Just forward over whatever soda can and satin they sent to us. That way we can play them at the end of the show. So, because he does send us a lot of stuff, and Heather don't be telling us, so that's
Why would you say that? First off, that's not even what's going on. Because my son
see, I was just checking to see if she's paying attention.
I am paying attention.
I'm glad she's paying attention. All right, so let's get it popping.
Oh, what?
He just put his butt. He just put his finger in that dog's butt, bro.
He's finger popping the dog, the German Shepherd.
Is that so that he would let him go?
Wait, what?
Man,
that's pretty wild.
I ain't never seen nobody do that before.
Facts. I definitely ain't never seen it. All right, let's go to the next one.
Oh, look at this. We got the real life Hulk.
Ooh.
Damn.
I really hope she brought that nigga back with her. I really hope that they not making niggas like that over here. We ain't I don't know nobody from where we at in the USA that could do some shit like that consistently, because he was confident. She tried to help. He said no, threw her ass up there like a sack of potatoes. Well, a bushel of potatoes. That was more than one sack. Threw her ass up there, no problems. Don't
He said a bushel of potatoes.
Who even doing that on vacation? Like if I'm with, I'm like, look, babe, we just want to ride the ATVs because you're not getting up there. You're not.
Man, that's a whole lot of woman right there.
So the cat and said, "What the? Hey, yo, that's busy. I know, man. That was kind of wild." But the German Shepherd had a dog. For those of y'all that's listening to our voices without seeing, he had a dog. German Shepherd had a little dog in his mouth and wouldn't let him go. So I guess he just decided, hey, look, I'm gonna have to go on and lock you with the master key.
Right?
That don't make you let the dog go. I don't know what will.
He was about to do the two. Never mind, I ain't gonna say it. I was gonna say something else, but I don't know if I should say it. But yeah,
go ahead and say it.
Yeah, say it.
He's about to do two in the pink, one in the stink.
Oh no!
That's why Jeremy walked away. He's like, I don't want to hear this.
Nope, I ain't doing shit. Something bad should have happened. If it falls, gonna be like, nah, I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. It's a problem. All right, let's get going.
Oh, man.
Hey, Prince, I can't have tragedies. Nigga, you I grew around, nigga.
That's what you get.
Oh, man.
Okay, watch that again. Watch that again.
Nigga, you I grew around, nigga. Yeah, man.
Damn.
I want y'all to notice. Let's break this down. All right, so if we go back just a little bit, we're gonna see right there where it decided to kiss him in the face. Right.
Yep.
There. I don't know if y'all know that or not, but that's hot. That's hot. When you shoot, that's an explosion, and that was hot. So not only did he get his lip busted, but he also got a nice little burn. That's why you're screaming. I want you to pay attention and listen for the scream.
Yeah, man.
Oh man.
ignorance at its maximum. And I, for
Um,
one, condone that message. So the cat said, man, sit your down. These young niggas, I swear, facts. I always talking about you can do something, you can't do nothing. And we gonna get into that today.
man, you gotta learn how to hold that shotgun.
Facts, dog. All right, we got some more.
Oh.
Hey.
Oh, Spider-Man trying to get down too.
Spider-Man just let it out.
It's I'm finna get this.
The title says
Oh.
Random Day in LA.
Everybody getting
That's
in on
like a
it.
movie. I know, that's like a movie. All right, so look, I did see this one. So viewer discretion is advised. All right, if you have trauma with pool shenanigans, please avert your eyes from the screen. All right, this will be graphic. Letting you know right now. Here we go.
Cover your eyes, Heather.
Cover your eyes, Heather. Don't look at the screen, Heather. Told you not to look at the screen. That boy saying, "What sound of the kitty made?"
Bro, we're gonna get banned. Why would y'all play that?
What's crazy is that shit was in front of a whole bunch of other people, just out in the open in the daytime.
Yep.
Like, come on, man, really?
Yep.
You're most likely on vacation. I'm pretty sure you got a room, so just go in your damn room, take care of business. It's like,
That man was starving.
They were being what's it
I
called?
guess.
Spontaneous. They were
Yeah.
doing it in public, spontaneous. You know when you go on vacation, you be doing all kind of wild shit. Like when I go on vacation, I start drinking as soon as I wake up. I don't wait till the evening. I ain't even gonna lie. We be
So
having a good time.
if you would have had your kids and nephews there and that would have been happening,
You would
I
have
don't think
acted
you
a
would have been
fool.
too happy. Yep.
You would
Okay,
act a
no,
whole fool.
I would have been like, oh my god, but
Yeah. I would have been throwing my drinks on them.
I didn't send the video. He said, "Don't you ever talk about what my people." I didn't send it, but that brother is starving. Also, Heather, by the way, I just wanted to let you know, when you wake up in the morning and the first thing you want to do on vacation is drink, that's not being spontaneous. That's just
no, I know it's not.
That's being an alcoholic.
Like when you
that is
not alcoholic.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
If
If you need to have a drink that early, that soon, that's an alcoholic.
I don't have to have
Trust
one.
me,
We just start
I
drinking
know.
that early. We just start drinking that early. I don't usually drink. Like I drink occasionally, so
Yeah.
I don't want to waste your time.
When we on vacation, we having a good time, baby.
Every 15 minutes is not occasionally.
You know what's spontaneous? You know what's spontaneous when people go on vacation and they have sex on the balcony. That's spontaneous.
Whoa, hey.
That's not here and there because y'all want to go there.
Him in the building. Like him and said, "Where my dinner at?"
Oh.
That was a good one.
Oh, he's looking for that roast beef sandwich.
Hey, ain't nothing like it. Folgers, nothing come closer to home. Okay, I said you're an alcoholic. It's okay, Heather. Yeah, I mean, you're in good company. I'm telling you. Hey.
Whatever.
That's it. I think we got one more. No, we already watched it. Yeah, okay. All right. I think that was it for the reactions because we had a last minute situation with reactions. Okay. So let's go ahead and get out of this, and we're going to talk about the topics that we're about to get ready to cover. So I'm pretty sure you read in the caption that we are going to be talking about what everybody is talking about, and that's the young man whose life is changed forever. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to break it down, but we're going to break it down a little bit differently. We're going to have everybody's different points of views. All right. Slim in the building. Slim said, Jeremy is hot and ready. Coming in hot. Let's do it. Shout out to Slim. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna drop the link in the description, just like I said I would. And again, you can come up whenever you want, give your opinion. If you don't want to cam up, you do not have to cam up. You can stay in the back and just talk, and we'll go from there. So let's do this. For those of you that don't know what's going on, we're gonna go ahead and give you a little bit of back history and bring it forth. So let me go ahead and get this set up. But did you want to intro this one, Heather, for us?
Okay, yeah. Okay, so oh my god, you put me real center. So our main topic for tonight's discussion is going to be the incident that happened at the track meet between. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. My notes are a little bit all over the place.
Two teenagers.
Between the two teenagers, yeah. So apparently, Karmelo ended up sitting under a tent that did not belong to his team, and one of those track mates, I think his last name is McCart, right? Is that his last name?
It's a hard name for some people that had it.
Oh,
so it's okay.
Austin. Okay, his first name is Austin.
Yeah,
We'll go by his
that's
first name. I
cool.
can't remember his first name. So Austin asked Karmelo to move. Karmelo didn't move. Austin allegedly, right, because this is still going to court. So allegedly, that's what I should start off with. So allegedly, Austin, like put his hands on Karmelo, and Karmelo was like, "Don't touch me," right? And he reached into his bag, but Austin proceeded to touch him, and then Karmelo stabbed him. To me, it sounds like self-defense. I know that everyone has a different point of view. I do understand that it turned into a race thing. And it's
But it's
just kind of
trying to.
all over the, well, okay, yeah, it's trying to. It's all over the place. But at the end of the day, both of these kids made a choice that has serious consequences, because honestly, Austin could have just left it alone and went and got the coach or a teacher, something, right? And told an adult, like, hey, he's sitting in the wrong area. This is only for my team. Can y'all ask him to move? Like, the track meet was near Austin. It was hot that weekend. We're in Houston, so we're not that far away. So I'm pretty sure that kid was just tired. Like, you just ran and it's hot outside. You just want to chill out for a little bit. I don't really think it's a big deal. I played sports, but I played basketball, so we had like an assigned area to sit at. But I've never came across anything like that while I play sports where people were like being mean to another team. I know that it does happen, but these are kids, so it's kind of like what are y'all doing? Like, just chill, you know?
Okay. So you've heard what Heather had to say about it. I'm just trying to figure out where we're gonna be. What's that right there? So let's see what some of the reports were, and we just gonna move it on up to opinions, and then we're just gonna have the conversation, guys. And look, I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all ahead of time. The thoughts and views are of our own personal experiences and just how we feel. Now, we can be right, we can be wrong, but one thing for sure, you're gonna know how we feel by the end of the night about this topic. So if you got a weak constitution, if you don't know how to listen to opposing viewpoints, and if you are not prepared for devil's advocate, which means just to be arguing, because if everybody feels the same, then I am going to introduce a different element, then this might not be the show for you tonight. But if you want to get
real in here,
if you want to push through something and make pause, so the can assassin, and you want to get to a level of understanding, at least on level ground, then you're in the right place. Go ahead and send that link out, because we're gonna try to do this as best as we can. We're gonna do it justice, because that's why we wanted to wait. We had a lot of people that was like, "Hey, have you covered this? Have you covered this?" Now we're going to cover it because there's more information, so we can give you a well-rounded view of what actually is going on, at least what we know as of now. Okay, so here we go. Let's do a little backtracking.
Forward, Karmelo Anthony will be facing off with Collin County prosecutors. That's going to happen Monday morning in a courtroom. They hope to convince a judge that the 17-year-old who was accused of fatally stabbing another student during a track meet last week is entitled to a reduction of his current $1 million bond. Anthony's lawyers also visited the track where the stabbing happened today, and they did that, they tell us, to help prepare for the hearing. And only our J.D. Miles was there with them.
Attorneys Kim T. Cole and Billy Clark walked through Kirkendall Stadium Thursday gathering evidence and surveying what last Wednesday morning was a Frisco police crime scene. An altercation between two high school track athletes led to a stabbing that resulted in one dead and another charged with murder.
We just really want to get in our clients' shoes and see what the environment was like. I know it's a beautiful day today. It wasn't anything like it was on April 2nd, but we want to see what it was, what he was going through, just kind of get an idea of, what he saw, what it looked like.
Anthony's attorneys urge the public to avoid rushing to judgment and assuming their client is guilty.
We're still praying for the family, and we also want to ensure that justice is served equally. So that's what we're hoping for.
Anthony claims he stabbed Austin Metcalf in self-defense. His attorneys say their first priority is getting the 17-year-old, who's been in the Collin County Jail for more than a week, released on bond.
Our next big step is Monday. But he's doing as best as he can under the circumstances.
Part of what they hope will convince the judge to lower the bond is their client's young age and his lack of any previous criminal history. Meanwhile, the church, which hosted a vigil for Austin Metcalf, has had to curtail student activities because of online security threats. Both the victims and the suspects' families also report receiving online harassment and threats. In one case, a fake 911 call sent police to their home. In a statement to CBS News Texas, Frisco's police chief tells us online threats of violence towards any person, business, school, or church are criminal offenses and will be investigated. Making false statements to cause alarm or emergency response is criminal and will also be investigated. Those responsible could face a third-degree felony and punishment of up to 10 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. It's reprehensible people who are committing such acts surrounding this tragedy. We are coordinating with Hope Fellowship related to the security of the upcoming service for Austin Metcalf. In Frisco, J.D. Miles, CBS News, Texas.
All right, so that is where we were at first. All right, so we got another video, but basically they brought him in. They were trying to get him out. So now we have an update on that. We all know that he did get out. We all know that the $1 million bond is set for people who do murders was reduced. So now we're going to hop, skip, and jump a little bit. We're going to go to some officials in that area, and then we're going to go into our first opposing position.
County DA Greg Willis is speaking out.
It's not unusual in the aftermath of a conflict to be a lot of publicity about it.
And this case has sparked deep tension. 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony charged with murder in the death of Austin Metcalf. Willis says his office hasn't received the case yet, but concerns have been raised about whether the case will be tried outside of Collin County.
Ultimately, that'll be a judge's decision to make at the time of trial. But yes, I want it here. This happened in Collin County. I want Collin County citizens to be able to decide this.
While one family mourns a loss,
my son is not here anymore, and I don't understand it.
Meanwhile, Anthony's family is facing their own challenges.
Their personal address has been exposed. They have received graphic and racist threats.
Monday morning, the judge will decide whether or not Anthony's bond will be reduced. Willis says Karmelo won't face the death penalty.
That would not be something that we could do even if we wanted to.
That's because of the Supreme Court's ruling on the 2005 case Roper versus Simmons, which banned the death penalty for youth who were convicted of murder before.
All right. So that's where we are right now with everything that's going on. So let's continue. Before we get there, how are you feeling about that? Let's go with Alfonso. Alfonso, how you feeling so far? We haven't really got into any nitty gritty stuff. But how you feeling?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it was teenagers, so I think it just kind of like basically It's like two boys, two young men. They just egos were clashing, and they let their I guess I don't know physical altercation and their egos and stuff get the best of them. That's what I
Yeah.
think, honestly. So
I'm gonna hold my judgment. We can hear something in the background. I think that might.
Hold on.
Okay. All right. Cool. We can go ahead and play the next video while we're waiting. Now, this one is gonna be a little opinionated, so brace yourselves. It's about to get crazy. All right. And not necessarily crazy in a bad way, but this one is a complicated case of Karmelo Anthony and whether he deserved bond with Steve, I think it's Peace, and Mr. Squires. Now, this is from Megan Kelly's site, so make sure you go out and subscribe to her. She has 1.51 billion subscribers, so she could definitely take a few. So enjoy yourself. Let's see what we got right now.
As spectators, both boys in high school, their whole lives in front of them. He is admitting that he stabbed Austin Metcalf in the heart with a knife. He alleges it's because Austin Metcalf laid hands on him. He's not even claiming Austin Metcalf had a weapon or threatened to kill him, etc. And now Karmelo Anthony has been released on bail. He was released from jail on Monday after posting a reduced $250,000 bond. He will remain on house arrest until his trial. A judge in Collin County slashed his $1 million bond originally and said he may await trial at home with an ankle monitor and 24-hour supervision from his parents or some other adult designee. And the family had set up a Give, Send, Go account, which has already raised over $415,000 so far.
Now, I want to interject right here. There is no video for this, but the other family also raised about $300,000 so far at the time of that reporting. So before you put anything in the chat about, it's not fair, as people are supporting both sides. So I just want to put that out there. Continue.
I'll just tell you what some seasoned lawyers are saying. For example, our pal Phil Holloway, he says, I see people held without bond for months or even years for much less serious charges. And I've heard a lot of that. I mean, you know how many January 6th cases were held without bond who did not murder anybody. But this guy, Delano, gets out on, relatively low bond that somebody else is paying because he's already got this huge GoFundMe account or Give, Send, Go account. And you tell me why that is, in your opinion.
Well, to be frank, I was surprised that bail was set at $1 million. For context, Dylan Roof's bail was set at $1 million for the gun charges, not for the murders he committed, not for the 9 murders in Charleston, South Carolina, but on the gun charges. So $1 million always sounded high to me. If Karmelo Anthony had a long track record, a long criminal record, then I think it would be different. I think his entire case is going to hinge on his claim that he was acting in self-defense. A jury will have to hear evidence to substantiate that claim, and they will decide whether or not there's any basis to that claim. I think, this is my personal opinion, this case has moved from a local case to a national case because of the racial dynamics at play. And it's
Karmelo is black and Austin was white.
Correct. And it's unfortunate that it seems as if many of the conservatives who typically say, let's wait to hear all the facts, let's get all the evidence, let's let the jury, of this person's peers make a decision, have rushed to judgment in terms of motives, in terms of what happened or didn't happen. And part of the reason that I've been hesitant to make certain comments on this case publicly and why I'm holding my powder is because I've seen time and time again the original narrative that gets set into the media, whether on the left, typically on the left, because this race-related crimes are sort of the province of the left. They have been. I think that's changing now. But I've seen hands up, don't shoot, go up in flames. I've seen sort of the original narrative, in other cases, go up in flames. We've even seen, even when it comes to George Floyd, people go from saying, we see the video, to now certain commentators, particularly on the right, saying, no, Derek Chauvin had nothing to do with George Floyd's death. It was the overdose. So my thing is this. I The $1 million bond sounded, as I said, sounded high to me. I'm not surprised it was lowered. The give, send, go stuff, I've seen how that's been sort of painted. Ultimately, Carmelo Anthony is
That's messed up.
Damn.
See, that's why I can't bring nothing to y'all. That's serious. Y'all always don't worry about it.
Doppelganger.
story of years, and if what he did sound, if the sort of original reports hold true, that it was just a minor verbal altercation and he pulled out a knife and stabbed this young man in the heart, then he's going to go to jail, going to go to prison for a very, very long time.
He's going to. That's my prediction as a lawyer, and we take on legal cases all the time on this show. Given my own, past as a 10-year practicing attorney.
All right, so let's break this down piece by piece. So, who would like to go first on responding to this right here? Or we can just go popcorn style, however you want to do it.
I'll say right off the bat when she was mentioning how the Carmelo had the page where they raised the money. She just, I don't know, the way she said it to me, it sounded I don't know. It sounded to me, it sounded kind of judgmental when she was saying it. I don't know if anybody caught that. Maybe it was just me.
No, I caught it. That's why I stopped it and said the other family has also gathered some money too.
Yeah, but it's like the way she said it.
Came a little strong, but hey,
yeah,
this is the lightest video that we got.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm telling you, it's only gonna get this. It's only gonna climb higher and higher with the stress level, and it's made by design because we do have to entertain over here too. So it's only gonna get worse as we go up, and I'm talking about on both sides. So I will say that for this video, it resonated for me because my doppelganger down there, as the chat has said, I kind of felt the same way. I did not want to touch this right now because I don't want to get all emotionally charged, and I don't want to just stand on my conviction until I hear all of the evidence that's possible, because there's so many different variables to this thing. We don't know if he was looking for a fight. We don't know if they were looking for a fight. We don't know if he knew he couldn't sit over there because it was a track meet. And I will say this, if you've ever been to any track meet, unless you like a family and you set up your own tent the whole 9 yards, it gets hot.
Mm-hmm.
But track event starts on different areas of the track field.
Yeah, there's not really an assigned tent for track.
So, although the opposing team might be over there, if we got shot put and it's all the way on this side of the field, and you want to root for the person that's doing shot put, then you got to move because they literally got multiple things going on at once. That's what a track field does.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you'll be there all day long, all night long. So we don't know. And that's why I want to make sure that before we decide to weigh in, that we let as much information come out as possible. But right now, it seems like everybody's at a gridlock of the information. So now we're going to weigh in. Whether you got anything or you want to keep going.
I don't really like I guess I really don't like the narrative of the way she's trying to paint it, right? I do understand that it is turning into a racial thing. And I honestly didn't really want to touch it either because it's I didn't have a problem discussing this topic like one-on-one or like with my close circle. But coming on a panel and discussing it is a lot more heavier and it's a little bit more like I don't know, because everybody got their own point of view when it comes to this. But I just feel like there's a lot of stuff that a lot of people don't know. Like a lot of people don't have the facts and they're just running off what they think happened. And I feel like race has a lot to do with it because most people are looking at this as, oh, it's an angry black kid, and that's not fair because I honestly do feel that it was self defense. Because if someone is charging up at me and trying to put their hands on me, like I'm gonna defend myself. I'm not gonna let no one just like hit me or be in my face and not do nothing. Like that's crazy. It's like they didn't want him to do anything, but just take that from the white kid, and that's not fair. Like that's not right. Um, but I mean, they were young, and I think that things did escalate, and they shouldn't have gotten out of control like that because they are kids.
Now I will say this. Great points. And before we start talking about those points, I just want to let y'all know we got the entire crew in here tonight. We've been graced by having Slim in the fucking building. Most
Hey,
What up, Slim?
CBA. How y'all doing?
in the building.
Hi, y'all. I'm sorry I look a funky mess, but hey, I mean, I had to come in on this. I couldn't let this slide. I could not, like, not come in and tell y'all my opinion. Slim J, just my opinion on this crap, because I also feel that I want to be fair about this situation. Is that okay? They brought it up as soon as it happened, it was a black and white thing. No, it was a child that was trying to defend himself. If you have two people coming towards you, you're gonna defend yourself. I got into an application with, I'm sorry y'all if y'all don't understand some stuff. I got braces, so it's kind of a little tight on me. But if you have a situation where two people is coming towards you and telling you that you cannot be up in this tent or you cannot be over here in this area, then you're going to defend yourself. I'm small. So, yeah, I may not pass the first leg, but I'll make sure I defend myself. So that's what that child did, was defend himself. And now they want to turn it into a racial situation. And that's not the case here. The case is this child felt threatened by his life. You know, if you look at some of these movies and things going on with this society nowadays, you don't know what to think. I mean, come on, we scared of police officers, we scared of people walking up on us. So this child don't know. I mean, this is Texas. This child don't know what's gonna go on. He wasn't a stupid child. He wasn't a gangster. He was an intelligent child who had a career and I'm sorry, y'all. He had a career and everything going for himself. Do you think he actually wanted to get in trouble and he was trying to go to college? Camille was smart. He wasn't like no gangster and got into trouble. So why in the hell his bond was so freaking high? Is my question.
Well, let me stop you right there.
Okay.
So the answer to that is that Texas has blanket, like just things that they're gonna do, and if a murder occurs, that's $1 million off the rip. Now,
Okay. See?
the strange thing,
Educated.
the strange thing about this one is that the governor appointed this judge to oversee this. He picked that judge to do that, and that judge that he picked reduced the bond so that they could get him out. That's something to keep in mind because, to be totally honest with you, this you got to think bigger than what we actually are seeing. This could literally change how we are going to approach bond for murder, and it could even change on some level the definition of defend your ground,
Yeah,
or
stand your ground.
stand your ground. Thank you.
Stand your ground. Yeah.
Because Castle
And see,
doesn't match with this.
sorry.
No, you good. Castle doctrine doesn't match with this, but stand your ground. It's kind of gray right here because it all depends on how the defense attorney can turn it. You can read it, and if you read it and you compare it, no, it don't match. But that's why the defense attorney right now is going to play a huge part in this. What you finna say,
Well,
sir?
and since you said that,
I was going to do this. Oh, and don't forget to tune in Slim J Just My Opinion tomorrow because I'm be recovering my point of view of this. I'm coming on y'all's, but anywho, I sit back and I actually listen to these people pleading and making points on both sides, and I really appreciate the attorney that is the what is it called? The fencing, the what is it called? The taking care of the guy, Camille Anthony.
Oh, I don't
He yes, he's good. He's very blunt. He did not sit up there and sort of tell them people like, okay, well, I'm gonna tell you that he may be not thinking a certain way or he may feel a certain way. So if you tune in tomorrow, not trying to take y'all shine. But you tune in tomorrow. I did some research on it as well. If you tune in tomorrow, you're gonna see that the attorney that's going with Camille Anthony is that he's sitting up here and he's protecting this dude without saying anything that's going against him. You know, he got his back. He got the family back, and he's not going like trying to take Camille Anthony's just his state. He's going like neutral until we have a proven fact, solid fact. Then we're not gonna sit up here and assume of what's going on. We're gonna get solid fact before y'all sit up here and say that my client is guilty of killing this young man. What's going? You can't do that. I cut for the lawyer. I can honestly say I do cut for him. So y'all just gotta. It's a crazy thing. And it's too much bully going on in the schools, anyways. So it's just something that, like they said, it started from the house. When y'all
that's
create monsters at the house, then those monsters turn out into that society, and different things turn out. But me in time out. Go ahead, carry on.
Alfonso, you want to add anything this before we finish this one up?
Nah, I mean, I was just like I said, I was the video I saw was
We got plenty more now. So I
they were
mean, if you ain't got
uh,
none, it's fine. 'Cause
one thing I just wanted to talk about was the real quick the video I saw earlier was they were talking about the stand your ground law
mhm.
and how Carmelo from what they were saying this gonna help him a lot on his side on his defense, I guess.
Well, you know the funny thing about that, I
Yeah.
got a video. It's right here, but up beneath us now, and it's by Angry Cops,
All right.
1.43 million subscribers, and it's entitled "Was it murder or self defense?" But before we play that, let's check and see what the chat is saying. Lighthammer 10
Hmm.
said as follows, and we will more than likely never know what really happened between them two. Facts.
Exactly.
Because that leads to everything. Soda Can Assassin said, Devil's advocate would be, could he have walked away? Could he just walked away? Could he just got up, went about his business? Soda Can Assassin not to come back again and say, we can't prove maliciousness or self-defense at this point. And I'm
But
inclined to
do you really? I'm
go
sorry,
ahead.
my
No,
bad.
no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you really think like I said, I had two people to jump on me as on a school bus, two sisters, and if anybody y'all know me, y'all know how small I am, and these girls was pretty big.
Now
So
this is popcorn
I did
style, y'all.
not pass.
Pop in as you want to pop in. Just start talking.
I did not pass the first lick. But you got two big girls coming towards me, and I'm not finna just sit up here. Like once you hit me, then I had to go in because I had two nice sized females that was coming behind me. Now, when I got off that school bus, I probably had one sleeve and one boot, but I whipped that ass. So it's just, I had to go in for what I know. And so that's what I'm telling people when you have, and nowadays it's worse. I mean, back then, you can have a fight and go home and heal, and that you'll get teased about if you got your ass whooped, or you have to get the little counsel for neat, if y'all know about that, and go on by your business. But these days and times, these kids are so into these games that they play online, or on different little thing, PS5, Xbox. So they mind is already stable into that situation is, I'm gonna go beat this person, I'm gonna go shoot this person or whatever. So they don't really think about reality. They think
That's a
about
different point of view. That's a different point of view. So you're saying it's because of the video games, the violence that's in the video game that might make them up a notch quicker, opposed to back where
re-
it's gonna be a scrap.
It
yeah,
influences them, is what
What you
she's
say?
saying.
exactly.
Not
Yes.
what? I didn't hear you. What did you say? Here? Say it again.
I said Slim is saying that the video game influences the children to act out. Like it causes
Hmm.
them to have anger, like management anger issues, and studies have proven
And
that.
just
So
You agree with that too, Alpha?
normal. Well, it kind of like normalizes
hmm
violence.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because look, society is showing them different. I mean, I hate to just throw this out like this, but y'all remember those who stay in Texas and or get on YouTube. You remember the three girls that was trying to kill their mother because she cut off the Wi-Fi. Okay,
oh yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
happened a couple of
so
weeks ago on
What?
Payton.
yes,
I
Wait.
sent you
yes,
that. I told you
That
we needed to
happened.
cover that,
That
and we didn't
happened.
Oh,
cover it.
That
yeah.
happened. That happened
yes,
close to me because
Yeah,
over here in
All
Cyprus.
right. One of
yes.
y'all
they were
explain that.
chasing her down like Elridge or something like that, trying to stab her.
It was,
Mhm. So you got to realize
yeah.
that
Hmm
these kids are getting addicted to this internet, this Wi-Fi, these iPhones, and all this, and they bringing it to like I said, when I used to play Pac-Man, Nintendo, and Xbox when I got grown. But anywho, we ain't finna tell my age. We know it's different, but now this is taking it to another level. Is where if I don't win this game on this Xbox or whatever, then it's gonna come to reality. And I'm not saying that Camille Anthony did this as far as the with the game, but he probably was fed up with the twins because they was twins and they identical twins. He got fed up with these guys bullying him, and he had to defend himself.
Hmm.
So if I have, like I said, if I have two people coming towards me, I may not pass the first lick. Well, okay, we knew.
Don't incriminate
If
yourself.
I do, look, if I do pass the first lick, but I have two people going towards me, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
to most of the twins that I have grew up with, and I know is that they gonna have each other back. It's like the brothers and sisters. It's like the sisters and sisters, the brothers and brothers. Y'all gonna have each other back. So if you sitting up here coming towards me or coming towards my brother, I'm gonna have your back. Now I hate to just shoot it out like this. When I did do research today, I noticed that
No. Don't tell it. Don't
I
tell it. Don't tell it. Don't tell it.
no no
Leave
I'm just
some.
saying I noticed that I'm not I know, but I'm not gonna tell that part. I noticed that they got love for each other, so they are very close. So you gotta just think about this. You we gotta sit up here and chastise our kids better than what we are doing. We gotta stop spoiling them with the technology that's really ruining them instead of helping them. So, and yeah, cause see, I'm thinking I'm on my show. Let me get out there business.
Well,
Go
let's do
ahead,
this
carry on.
closing statement before we play the next video. Let's give it to Heather. Yeah.
Uh, I don't have a closing statement. Like
Okay, that's
play
fine.
the video.
Okay, Alfonso, you got anything you want to add before I punch this play button?
Nah, play
All
the video.
right, here we go.
The defense for Carmelo Anthony is going to have a hard time trying to use the stand your ground law as a defense, specifically where it says that the individual can't have provoked the situation. Right? We go back to the police report. One kid goes to the visitor's side where all the visitors are, where none of his teammates are, and then chooses to sit down underneath a tent of not his high school, surrounded by none of the people he knows. To which somebody says, hey, you need to move. And his immediate response is, touch me and see what happens, per one of the witnesses. That sounds, to me, an awful lot like somebody trying to start some with a group of people. If I'm at the beach and I have a tent.
Hell, does that sound like somebody would be trying to start some mess with somebody if they said, touch me, find out? Touch me, see what happens. It sounds like you'll start something.
I mean, obviously, someone's telling you don't touch them, or you're gonna fuck around and find out. So why would you touch them?
All
I
right.
think people should really learn to keep their hands to themselves. I really stress that. Like I stress that a lot. I think that people should really keep their hands to themselves. Like for real.
All right.
Like
Let's keep going.
for real.
Set up and my family's in it, and a stranger comes over and then plops themselves next to my family, I'm gonna look at them like, what are you doing? Get away from my shit. Yes, I'm in a public space, but you're like in my shit by my family. Off. And if he goes, touch me and see what happens, well, that just looks to me like he's intentionally starting a fight with me. Why? I don't know. But in Karmelo's case, one could speculate that he wanted to start a fight with somebody, and that his intent may have been to stab somebody and use self-defense as a defense. Why do I
don't
say
like
that?
this.
Because I'm a horrible.
I told you it's gonna get rough.
He's
We gonna
playing
finish
that
it. We gonna
narrative
finish
of
it.
like
We
the
gonna finish.
angry black guy, and
We're
that's
gonna
not
finish.
cool.
We're
Like,
gonna finish it up, and then we're gonna start with Alfonso and move over. So we're gonna finish it up. I told you it's only going to get worse. I'm telling you this right
this
now.
is stupid though.
Hold
Like,
on to your butts.
you can't be fucking serious.
Everybody, no. After he sits down and says these things, his hand immediately goes into his bag and starts fiddling around. Remember what we talked about when we said some of the things you can't do for use of deadly force? Speculative force. If you're
And also, Slim, just to let you know, you are back on there. I know you're in the back. You don't have to cam up, but if you just want to talk, you can. But if not, just mute up. So we don't hear your background.
sitting down in the bleachers under somebody's tent, they tell you to move. You say, touch me, you see what happens. And then immediately grab your knife in your backpack for the speculative force that they might use. You're already wrong. You're already amping up the situation and preparing to use deadly force when it's not authorized.
All right, let's talk about it. Alfonso, you have the first crack at the end. And Heather, you're not muted, so I'm gonna mute you. Okay.
Well,
Right.
we already know who he thinks is guilty and not guilty. So,
Okay,
I mean, that's what
question for you.
that's what it sounds like to me. But also, too, it's like a lot of this is basically he said, she said. So none of us
Yeah.
were there. So it's like how accurate can this story be? Of course, they can
Yeah.
manipulate it and say, oh, he said this and he acted this way and blah blah blah, and it's I don't know. That's
So let me ask
my take on that.
Let me ask you a question though. If we can separate our feelings and just hear what he said about that scenario, if it's the scenario that he painted, can you agree with it, or are you still like, nah, fam?
Nah, I can't agree with
Okay. All right, fair enough. Heather, your turn. All right, how you feel about that video? I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked Alfonso. If you're able to remove your feelings from the situation, just based on what he said, if everything that he said is true, do you agree with it? Or are you like, nah, even still, you could be 100% right and it's still a no for me, though?
No.
Okay. Go ahead. Expound, please.
So I don't like the video, for one. Because I don't like the narrative he's painting. For two, um, I feel like he's one-sided, and I do get the example he gave of someone like coming to sit next to his family and he asks them to move and they don't move. Okay, and then they tell you like touch me and find out. But I don't think that that's really what happened because okay, well we don't know what happened, right? Because we weren't there. But people are
Say how you feel.
saying,
Just say how you
huh?
feel. Just say how you feel.
Okay, so I feel like that the twins were ganging up on him, and it's 1 against 2. So I mean, he just it's like his back was against the wall, like like what, like it's like he had to go into survival mode at that point. Like he doesn't know these kids because they don't go to the same high school; they go to 2 different schools. So
That's a good point.
it's like I came here to compete in this track meet. I don't know you. You and your brother are like talking to me crazy, and my back's against the wall. Like y'all got me fucked up.
Hmm.
So I don't know. Like I don't feel like someone telling you that it's them trying to pick a fight with you, especially because it also depends like how do you tell someone? Because if you sit next to me and I'd be like, "Hey, your ass got to get up and move," that's rude, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
that's rude. If a motherfucker talks to me like that, I'm gonna be like, excuse me, like. But if you've been like, "Hey, I'm sorry, you can't sit here. Can you please move?" Then maybe he would have walked away. Like I don't think he went there trying to pick a fight. It was a track meet. He's a track star. It's not like he knew he was there to run in a track meet. He was there to handle business as an athlete. He wasn't there to fight. Like this isn't a random thing that happened. So I don't know. I don't like that video. I don't think it painted a good narrative here. Like it's not it.
All right. Here's what I'm gonna say. Do I like the video? Yeah. Reason why I like it is not the reason why y'all hate it though. I like it because he gave a clear definition, regardless of how you feel about it. And it was only a snippet. So please feel free to go look it up. Angry Cops, was it murder or self-defense? But he gives a clear definition of what stand your ground is and what castle doctrine is. And what he's trying to do is explain it. Now, is it coming from a very, 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 very biased lens? Yes. Yes, it is. But even a broke clock can be right at least twice. So when it comes to this type of situation, you have to come with some nuance. Now, do I feel like he was looking for a fight? Honestly, no, I don't think so. And you're going to find out how I feel about it a little bit later. But do I agree with how he broke it down? Yes, I do. I don't like the fact that it's biased, but hey, look, the world is not black and white. It is all mixtures of gray. Slim, you want to weigh in on this one, or you want to wait to the next video?
I really think that we just gotta, tune in and just really see what happened in that background because it's so many people saying different things, and we really, really need to know exactly what's going on and not people that got coached to say what's going on. That's what I
Good
gotta say
point.
about it.
All right, let's go to the next video. That was a good way to do it. Let's go to the next video. This one is a different point of view, which I feel that maybe our audience will like better. This comes from Eddie Griffin, and he talks
Oh wow.
about. He's gonna talk about that. Now
All in Texas.
we're only gonna cover what he was talking about this. He also talked about Kanye West and the Snow White flop and job being fine. Eddie Griffin, that's how you find him. He got 482,000 subscribers. So please make sure if you like what he's saying, then just watch it in its entirety. But let's see what he got to say about it.
Get right into it. In San Francisco, Texas, Austin Metcalf was stabbed to death. His twin brother tried to save him, but he was
Also
pronounced dead.
And to just let you know, we are gonna start with Alfonso and move over. So we're gonna go Alfonso. Hold on. We're gonna go Alfonso, Heather. Then if Slim come back, it'd be Slim, then me. We just swap it up a little bit.
On Friday at the local hospital. His father got on the news and said that this wasn't a race thing; it was a human thing.
I want to clarify something right off the start because I've already heard some rumors and gossip. This was not a race thing, and this is not a political thing. Please do not comment if you do not know what happened. Do not turn this into a racial thing. It was not. Do not politicize this. It's not. This is a human being thing.
Yeah. And then there's reports that, they were bullying the stabber, and that's why he stabbed him. But, if you get bullied, just knuckle up, Why is it always weapons involved with these little retarded children? You got a gun, you shoot it. You got a knife, you stab a mother. I mean, he was just talking to you. So, I don't get that part of it. And then, and his father coming out saying, that it was a human thing. Your son just died a day before, and that's all you got to say? Oh, and for all you white people out there trying to turn it into a race thing, the dad already said it wasn't no race thing. It was kids being kids. Kids like bullying. Some kids can handle it, some kids can't. This kid in particular couldn't handle it, so he went for the knife. That's all it is. You trying to turn it. Why is everything in America about some race war shit? Out of here. People are people, so why can't it be? You and I should get along so awfully. I think that's song by Depeche Mode, 1984. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
All right. Alfonso, what you got?
Man, well, I mean, he makes Eddie Griffin there makes a point there about, makes a good point about, if they're just, they might have been bullying him. And, he could have just been got up and walked away and be like, all right, whatever. Or he could have just started fighting, would have been 2-on-1, but man, he could have just been fighting with his fists instead of pulling out a weapon. It's different. I guess, it could have went different ways.
I agree. Heather, what you got?
So I do think there are many ways that this situation could have played out. I know that it's not really a political or a race thing, but that is what it's starting to turn into, unfortunately. I mean, and there's just so many things. There's so many what ifs or what could have happened, but that's not what happened. And he could have used his fist and fought an actual fight, but let's be honest, it was still going to be 2 against 1. So it wasn't going to be fair anyways, if you really just think about it. And I don't know, we know that he doesn't have a criminal history, but we don't really know what his life is like or what he has been exposed to, what triggered him to feel like I need to stab this person because it's me or them. Because that's usually what that comes down to. Like, people shoot when they feel like they have no option, or stab or strangle. Like, it's something that triggers them to go into this headspace that it's, I need to do this to save me. And that's all he was doing. Like, kids see black and white. There is no color. There is no understanding, especially the younger they are. So as adults, our front lobe doesn't finish developing till we're 25. So that maturity or that understanding that an adult would have, like a 17-year-old does not have. You know what I mean? Especially because we don't know his lifestyle. So what if he was really sheltered from the world? You know what I mean? What if he didn't really know? But then again, it's like, what if he grew up in a household where someone was being abusive and he's been around that and he feels like, well, this is how, I do X, Y, and Z. So we don't really know the backstory of him. There's just a lot of missing pieces here. Honestly, like it's just a lot that still needs to unfold or that we need to find out.
Okay, so big question. I didn't ask you this, Alfonso, but I'll ask you on a rerun back. Do you agree with how he saw the case or how he saw the situation? Do you agree? Do you think just two kids that were just acting up? Do you think it's not a racial thing? So that's his 2 points. His first point is it was just two kids doing what kids do. One kid was bullying another one, and the other kid couldn't handle it and handled it. Or, no, not an or. It's that and it's not a racist thing. So let's go.
It's hard to tell if it's a race thing or not for the simple fact that, okay, so this is hard. And the reason why this is hard is because there is rumors or allegations that the twins had been bullying Karmelo, right? But they didn't go to
that possible.
But
They don't
okay,
know.
so that's what I'm getting into. Like, how is that possible when it states that they went to separate high schools? Maybe they ran into each other at track meets before. That's possible. And maybe they've had like altercations between the three of them. I don't know because we don't know them. But it's like, can we put those pieces together? You see what I'm saying? Like, we can't really put that together and say, oh, this is what's been going on. But even then, it's like, where are the adults? Why hasn't an adult intervened? Why hasn't a child went to an adult? Like, because it's just a lot. So I mean, I don't want to say that it is a race thing. I think that it's kind of hard because, like, what if they don't like each other's races, right? Like, we don't know. Like, what if the twins didn't like black people? And I know what the dad said, but the dad is doing fucking PR. Like, that's what he's doing. He's trying to make them look good on camera. Come on, y'all know this. It's exactly what people do. Someone fucks up and they send someone in front of the camera to fix it. All the celebrities do this all the time.
So they operate
PR
like a
clean.
celebrity
That's all
would
it
now?
is.
So they operate like a celebrity would. This just regular smuggler family. Let's assume they think they better than everybody. They operating like they are celebrities.
I think that the dad is standing behind his son, whether he's right or wrong. And as a parent, I don't see anything wrong with that because whether my son is right or wrong, I'm gonna stand behind my son. Now I'm gonna correct my son and be like, "Hey, you fucked up." Like, but I'm gonna support my son. Like, and I'm a mother, and whether I was right or wrong, my mom always had my back. Like, she talked shit to me and told me I fucked up, but she stood behind me in every decision and every struggle or whatever I came across. You see what I'm saying? So I think that the dad is just standing behind his son as a parent should, and I think that he's trying to do PR. Like, I think that's what he's really trying to do right now. I mean, they're trying to avoid it from turning into a racial thing, but I mean,
but why would he care? And let me just paint the picture. Why would he care?
Because it makes the family look bad and it helps them in court if it doesn't look like it's a racial thing. There's a lot. But see, the thing about courts is when shit like this happens and the case gets put into play, they start looking at social media. That's why people always say, like, watch what you post on your social media. Because when you apply for a job, like if you apply for a job and it's a high up position or it's very professional, 9 times out of 10, that company is going to have someone that's going to go and look at your social media. Doctors' offices do that. So they're going to go and look at your social media. And if there's pictures or videos of you drinking and smoking, like, hate to break it to you, but that doesn't look professional. And they don't want that because it makes you look like you're not responsible. You see what I'm saying? So, like, people look at that. Okay. So, you know, it's just, I don't know, it's kind of all over the place. It's hard, like it's hard to really just tell, you know, but I mean, if it's not, it's turning into that. That's the reality of it, because it's two white kids and one black kid, and we're so used to seeing the white man win every time. Even when the white man is wrong, the white man wins. They don't get the same punishment as the minority. They get
Whoa,
away with a lot of
wait,
shit
wait,
that the
wait.
minority
How?
does not get away with.
How?
Jeremy.
No, I'm asking a question. I'm just asking the question. How? Because the thing that is the most troubling about this whole case is that everybody picked a side before they even saw what happened. We got our blackity black, everything black, all things black, made back black, and then we got
Okay,
why the
well, that was
black?
unfair.
We got both of these people coming together, and they're using this, they're exploiting this situation to push a narrative. And that's the part that I have a problem with, because to be totally honest, this should not be national news. This should be like, what should be a national news story? Another school shooting that just happened. That's what we should be able to cover, and we should be trying to push. But we so concerned about what this black kid did to this white kid and what he did or did not do to him, and we're too worried about where the money is going for the black
Slim
kid.
girl, he is.
Huh? What you say?
Slim said, hold on, let me pull it up. Jeremy is white right now. And
right.
I said he
is WRIGA. Not
he
that.
is. He's being Mr. Green right now.
No,
Mr.
I'm telling
Green
you.
That got the high credit score.
Look, I'm just being objective. Could it have been racist? We gonna find out. Because like you said, there's a footprint. But it does not help if we're making false accounts and photoshopping guns in the boy's hand that's already dead and saying, if I pull up and I see some monkeys, I'm gonna go hunting or something like that. That's not helping our case. Whoever photoshopped that picture,
that's fucked up.
You hurt the whole thing. We'll never know if they racist or not. If they were, you just messed it up for everybody. And on the same token, you can't go and take a picture of BB guns and say that this black kid was a thug. That ain't how it works. So that means if we see a picture with a black kid with a paintball gun, he a thug too? Or a water gun? We need to ban Nerf guns now? If they got a high percentage on Call of Duty, they a killer? You see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Like I see what you're saying, but I don't know, man. I told you this shit was sticky when we came in here, because it's a lot of like do's and don'ts, but we've seen stuff like this play out over and over again when it comes to a white person and a black person, and usually 9 times out of 10 the white person gets the lighter sentence, and that's the truth.
But that's the issue. We are not looking at what happened. We're not talking about.
If I look at it as what happened, I honestly feel that it was self-defense. Like, I feel like it was self-defense. He didn't intentionally do it. They triggered him, and it made him go into survival mode. You ever been triggered and you just like lose your shit, and then you have to calm yourself down, and you're like, whoa, that shouldn't have gotten out of hand the way it did, but it did because you got triggered. Like, right, your mind will play tricks on you.
But that's not self-defense. That's a mental thing. That's when you got to go into the mental plea. If you're going to say, I snapped in a moment, I turned red, or I got nervous and I just acted out of that, the fight or flight took over, then that's not defense. Defense is, I have no other option left. I have no other option left, and I'm in a corner, and it's you or me, and it's going to be you.
What if they were like trying to like weren't they like in his face? See, this is the issue. Like, we don't have enough. Dang, I wish like everybody always got a phone. everybody always got a phone in their hand, and when someone should have had a phone in their fucking hand recording the altercation, no one had a fucking phone.
Slim, you messed up. You messed
Because
up for that.
like
You messed up
we
for that.
need
Slim said it seemed like
evidence.
the right person always right, regardless.
Like
You on some
like we just need to see like what was that kid's tone? Like, was that kid yelling at him and cussing at him? Like, because that's another thing. If they being
So
aggressive,
wait. So you telling
what
me
are you
that
gonna think? Because if you come to me and you being aggressive, I'm gonna be like, oh
you gonna
shit,
stab
like,
somebody?
I'm not gonna stab someone. Like
Come
I'm
on,
gonna
let's
get
just put it out there. You gonna stab somebody because they got loud with you?
no.
You
But
gonna
I do
stab
get loud
somebody?
back. I bark back. Like
Then bark back. Then woof woof.
I'm gonna bark back, and
Don't
then if
pull
you
out the
try
switchblade.
to fight me,
Man,
then I'm gonna fight you back. Like the fuck. But that's what I'm saying. Like I
Let
don't
Alfonso
know,
speak.
like
Please speak, Alfonso. What you got?
Arf, arf.
Yo, it's an hour and 15 minutes. We still got a couple more clips. I'm gonna go ahead and say, if anybody wants to jump off or jump on, you can. We have already hit the agreed upon time due to the new schedule, but this is one of them, man. So I mean, if y'all want to keep rocking, we gonna keep rocking because we still got some more clips to get through. Slim J, I just want to let y'all know it wasn't that I wasn't letting her back up. It's just for some odd reason, whenever she tries to get on with the phone, it just drops. When she's on her show, she's completely networked in. But we do appreciate you showing up, though. Slim said the Holy Bible was sacred for his life. What? Yeah, you got
scared for his life.
Holy Bible was scared for his life. You got two white people coming towards you. Okay. All right, y'all. Look, there is no evidence that both of them, I know they twins, but there's no evidence that both of them were coming at him. But we do have police reports, so maybe it's in there because we haven't read it yet. I do have it, so we'll read it here in a minute. And if I'm wrong, I'll eat some humble pie. I'll eat the crow. Pause. But we cannot keep trying to make this into something that it ain't. Slim said, well, when it comes to a situation, you don't know how you're going to react because you're scared. Okay. But if you're scared and you act in being scared, then that's the angle you need to go on. But how can you be scared if allegedly the first thing that come out your mouth is don't touch me? If you touch me, something gonna happen. And look, let's be honest, we all were kids once. And we all done had that moment where it's either time to fight, or it's time to run, or it's time to get picked on. That's your three choices. Either you gonna fight back, you gonna run, or you just gonna get picked on. Now, depending on what choice you decided to do, it shaped your entire existence for high school or college or middle school. And all I'm saying is that I do agree with Eddie Griffin that this was two kids being kids, but unfortunately, it's escalated way beyond the realm. But I'm going to tell you guys here what I told these two when we were going over this. You cannot get mad if you put your hands on somebody and you open the door to a problem. If somebody opened the door by putting their hands on you, you're supposed to keep your hands to yourself. We tell our kids that. We tell grown folks that. I tell people that work there. I tell my kids that. But if you put your hands on somebody, you are opening the door to whatever reality they want to introduce you to. A whole new world.
Oh my God.
Just telling you, bro.
Oh man.
A new fantastic point of view or not.
No more
I'm just saying, like, you got to me like that. K-Dot in the building. He said, to me, it seems like a cultural divide. I feel like they may have been bullying this kid but their approach may have seemed threatening to Karmelo, depending on his background. You know what? Where's my air horn at? Hold on. Because that deserves an air horn, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, because that makes perfect sense.
That's what we've been telling you.
No.
And
No,
it's
it's
been
not.
like pouring over
No,
your
it's not.
fucking head.
You've been
Bro,
saying
how many
it's
times
a
we
race
repeating
thing.
that
It's a
shit?
race thing. It's a race thing. He a black man. That's what you've been saying. That's what you've been saying. The white man got to be racist. Why? Why? Because he white.
I didn't say the white man had to be racist. I first said that there were allegations that they were
the chat, she say
bullying
fact.
each other.
See over here agreeing with y'all, saying that yeah, they got to be
because we
racist.
gave you different scenarios, and you were like,
Oh
but it's not that. The dad made an interview. That's exactly what you did. Don't fucking play in my face.
Oh man, I got a saying for that, but it's not appropriate, so we're not going.
I was like this.
Where's your next video? Can you play your next video, please?
Don't be get mad. All right.
Because you're on some bullshit right now. Like, for real.
Just because I have a point of view that you don't agree with does not make it bullshit. Substantiate your argument.
I already have.
Get your argument up.
Do you think it was a self-defense, or what you think it was?
Do I think it was self-defense?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea. Self-defense.
For real?
But I will say that he regretted it. I will say that he regretted it. I will say that he didn't want to take it that far. I will say that I honestly think that he thought that he had just done a flesh wound, because in the report, in so many words, paraphrasing, the young man was crying and he was like, "Is the other kid okay?" That lets me know that this was two kids that got to fighting and hit one too hard. And I know y'all don't like that, but it is what it is. It ain't had nothing to do with no races. It didn't have nothing to do with no black power. It didn't have nothing to do with none of that. So I can't say if it's self-defense or not. Because if I was his attorney, I want to know, were you scared? I want to know, did you black out? I want to know, what was your mental state? Because this self-defense thing that everybody's saying on social media, that's your ticket, is not your ticket, because it's not hitting the numbers. If anything,
then he's probably going to change the narrative and say that it was a mental health crisis that he had.
Right, but y'all not helping the situation and y'all keep saying it's self-defense.
Because right now, this is the only option we have. He's a murderer, or it was self-defense. It's either or. There is no third option.
How about he's a traumatized youth that got picked on and he overreacted? He made a terrible decision, but that doesn't mean that his life has to end. Does he have to pay for the crime? Yes, he got to pay for the crime.
Consideration yet? That's what we're telling you. So when you look,
the judge is taking a lot into consideration.
When they did his bond, they looked at it as should he be bonded as a murderer, or should he be bonded as self-defense? That's what the headlines are for this. It ain't no extra shit.
The headline don't mean that that's what it really is. We don't know whether he a murderer or not. We don't know what the
court documents.
Yeah, all right, fine. We're gonna get to the court documents, but they're not court documents. They're police reports. This is the only thing that we have is what the police wrote down on their paperwork when they first interacted with all parties involved. Let's see what the chat has to say.
I don't think that he did it on purpose. Like,
I don't think he did it on purpose either.
But it depends on his background and how he was raised, and it seems like he's a good kid and he got hurt. Like, he wasn't trying to.
And I agree.
He wasn't trying to be a thug out here. Like,
I agree. But I also don't think it was self-defense. Lighthammer said, we don't know if it was self-defense. I know. Lighthammer also said, you can't go off emotion. I know.
Whose side are you on right now? That's what we want to know.
He on my side because right is right.
Fuck that.
You see what I did there for?
You better get your goddamn brother.
Slim J said, again, when you are scared, You do not know what you are going to do.
Exactly.
You do not
Survival
know the
mode.
power of yourself.
Hey, you'll do some, man. You'll
You
find
are
out how
not
fucking strong you are and how much you would tolerate something when you get like that. Like that shit's so wild.
All right, let's go to the next video. Let's see what we got. All right. Thank you guys for rocking with us. You could be anywhere in the world right now, but you're with us, and we appreciate you. All right. Hour 24 minutes, and we are rocking strong again. Anybody that needs to go can go. Let's match.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye then.
I'm playing.
Let's
I just
match
got tired of
Heather's
you saying
energy.
that shit, so I just wanted to say
All right.
something.
All right. Here you go. Here we go.
Saying exactly who it is that I'm dealing with and what your mindset is. That way I can create realistic.
This is Anton Daniels from the Anton Daniels
Can you
channel.
turn him up?
I'm gonna try. 550 1,000 subscribers. I'm gonna try to turn them up. So let me know if it gets any better. Okay.
Expectations of how these conversations are going to go, because the thing that I told myself going into my 43rd year
is that better?
I wasn't going to argue with
sounds
people
a little louder.
or people that couldn't substantiate their
Listen,
argument.
I'm not afraid of the white man. That's
The
one
interesting
thing.
the interesting
White
thing
men
about it
can
is
go
that
in
what I've learned about people like you is that you take talking points from other people, and that's how you
No,
justify.
these are my talking points. These are my
It
talking
is.
points.
You just said something and you couldn't even give a concrete example, and then you just say, "Well, it's common sense."
Bro, because it's common sense, bro. It's common sense that white people
Then
own
why you
America,
shouldn't
bro.
be able to?
What are you
If it's so common, if sense is so
why
common,
do I have to explain
according to
that?
what
There's
you're
no
telling me,
reason why we
then how
should
come you can't give me a concrete example? If I go outside and I do something to a black person, if I do something to an Indian person, if a white person do something to me, it's all going to be held accountable.
But it's not the same. But it's not the same though.
Well,
That's what
wait,
I'm
let
saying.
me understand it. What's gonna happen?
It's not the same. If
What's
you
gonna
go
happen?
outside right now and you kill a black person versus killing a white person, it's gonna be a completely different process.
Really? You
Yes.
think so? You think that
Yes.
if a black
We've
person
seen it
kills a white
countless
person
times. We've
versus
seen
if
it
a white
countless
person,
times. What are you talking about?
I would argue that a black person killing a white person gets infinitely more grace than a white person killing a black person. Today,
I'm talking about
in 2025, if a white person kills a black,
what I'm saying the
no,
wrong way.
no, no,
You're
no.
taking what I'm saying the wrong
We're
way.
going to use your
I'm talking
example.
about the law
No,
system.
we're
I'm
going to
talking
use
about the
your
law
example. No, we're going to use a system. We're going to use your specific example. You provided it, so let's stay on that.
So you're saying a black person killing a white person gets more grace
no,
than the
don't
law
overtalk me. Don't overtalk me. If a black person kills a white person, they get infinitely more support and grace than if a white person kills a black person all day long.
Where? Support
100%.
and grace where?
Right here in America. 100% right here in America. Name a white person that killed a black person that is not or have not been held accountable in the last 5 years.
George Zimmerman?
George Zimmerman wasn't even white. He's not even fucking white.
Can be considered white?
George Zimmerman is not even white.
Okay, bro, we're not gonna sit.
No.
We're not gonna sit here and act like black people aren't killing white people all the time and they don't get.
You don't
all these
even know
police
what you're
checks from
talking
black-
about.
Come on, let's
George
not do that.
Zimmerman
Let's
is not even white.
Let's not even go down that route.
No, let's go down that route. He's not even white.
Okay, so forget about George. This is one person out of the hundreds
Then
of thousands of black people that get killed
one.
by white people.
Give me one. Give me one.
React. Let's see. Let's go. Heather first, Alfonso, and then me.
I don't want to go first.
Why not?
Okay,
All right,
what's your
fine.
question?
Alfonso, no, it's
Okay,
your
Alfonso,
reaction
Alfonso.
to it. You want Alfonso to go?
Yeah.
All right, Alfonso, what you got?
That video was, I mean, I don't know. I gotta watch that one again.
Okay.
And then it was just, I don't know. They just kept talking over each other, and then it was just, don't know.
He was saying to
Right.
take the race out, right? He was like, say that wasn't a white man, right?
Let me try to break it down a little bit better. So what I got from the video is that the gentleman on the right or left hand of your screen, the one with the dreads, he was saying that it was a race issue exclusively. Anton Daniels,
Well, how does he know if he wasn't there?
right. Anton Daniels with the glasses is saying just what you said. How do you know? Substantiate your argument. And he said, we already know. Then it came to a point to where they were going to go at it, and he wanted to know the type of person who he was dealing with. So then he asked him questions beforehand. And if you want to watch the whole thing, it's called "It's Your Fault." Should Karmelo Anthony go free? Texas retroactive child support, and women are choosing. Anton Daniels. Be sure to watch it. It is a crazy stream, Monday night stream. Shout out to Q. Shout out to Anton Daniels. All that good thing. But Anton Daniels was saying, okay, substantiate your argument. Why? Why is it like that? He couldn't substantiate his argument. And the reason why is because he was literally watching what's on social media and using that to make his own opinion. And when you do that and you don't do research to go with it, then you left with your pants down.
Mm-hmm.
The icing on the
it's
cake.
like debate.
Yes, the icing on the cake was when he asked him, give me an example of a white person not being held liable for a issue that happened, a killing. And he said George Zimmerman. And George Zimmerman was not white. But I'm pretty sure somebody on YouTube said he was. Shout out to YouTube. So he just said the same thing. And in this type of situation, where there is a young man's life in the balance, and we've already lost one young man's life, it ain't no time for all of that. So that's what I got from it. Let's see what the chat is saying. Keita said, I feel like Anton Daniels is delusional. Okay. Might be. Slim J said, Alfonso got sleep. Alfonso is like, bro, I'm not trying to be up here all night.
I'm a little tired.
Alfonso like, I can sleep. You know, like facts. So that's basically the whole issue with that. And my takeaway for that before I pass the mic is people are not doing their research. Now, earlier in this same stream, because I watched it, Anton Daniels was actually on his side because this gentleman brought up that Photoshop picture of the guns. And Anton was like, well, hey, if they made that post, then we should be able to use that post just like people try to use the post for the BB guns. But then they found out it was fake. And he's like, bro, I can't trust nothing that you're saying right now because you literally had me out here looking like a fool because I agree with you. And then when I did my own research in real time, that took 5 minutes, I realized that it wasn't real. But yeah. All right, so Heather, what you got?
Okay, so what we're doing is basically this guy is saying that it is a race thing. And when Anton Daniels asked him, give me a case where a white man had a lighter sentence, right? He couldn't because he didn't properly do his research.
Correct.
Okay.
He could have said Kyle Rayner or Reiner, whatever his name was. He could have said that if he had knew, but he didn't know. That's the one that came.
Could have also
everybody.
So you're saying when it's an actual racial case, like it's a black and a white man against each other in the same case, or you're saying just it could be separate cases, but they were both charged with like the same thing, basically, and one just got a lighter sentence.
No, it's got to be a mixture of both. So it's got to be a white person that did a issue that killed some black people, basically, or harmed black people, and got off. And what Anton Daniels is saying is that, and why are you searching that? And what Anton Daniels is saying is that for every case that you can find something like that, he's pretty sure you can find one for a black person. As a matter of fact, he's saying that black people actually have an advantage now because they've been overcompensated. Now, I don't agree with that part. Because if that's the case, then why are we even worried about the police? I don't agree with that part. But I do believe. Go ahead.
Mhm.
No, go ahead.
I feel that damn, where was I going with this? I feel that Black people get more how do I like word? Okay, so I don't agree with that statement either. And I don't agree
Okay.
with it because I feel like a cop will be quicker to suspect a Black person of doing something than a white person. And that's just the reality of it. Like that's the time we live in right now, which sucks. And it's not just Black people, it's like the minority. So, like Hispanics to brown people. So
Well, he's not talking about suspicion. He's talking about the act is done. You killed that person. The act is done. Now what happens? Do they get 5 to 6 years opposed to supposed to be 10 to life? And I don't know, but I just don't agree with the notion. But I don't know
well,
because
I feel like it could go either way depending on the case. But I do feel that a white person gets less of a sentence. And I actually have an example of one now.
Okay, go ahead.
So the George and Trayvon Martin case, y'all remember that? From
You mean the
2012
police officer
in
who is
Florida?
currently in jail? That one?
Well, he wasn't a police officer. He was a neighborhood watch volunteer. So like a security
No,
officer.
wait. You said George Floyd? Who did you say?
No. George Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin.
What? Oh my God. He's not white.
What do you mean he's not white? Yes,
George
he
Zimmerman?
is. He wasn't white?
No.
What is he?
He was Latino.
Well, whatever. Oh, fuck. I can't
You
use that.
literally did the same thing that the dude just did.
You're right. I can't use that. Fuck. Okay, you got me there because I fucked
Got
up.
him.
I swear he was white. I was all like, he's white. And then I'm like, oh, wait, fuck, he's not. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Oh, man. I win. Let's see if the chat can save you. Slim J said, I feel that have the exhausting right now and he's sleepy. They own that fun.
Okay, I got another one. What about John McClane versus Marcus Johnson? John McClane is the white person and Marcus Johnson is the Black person.
Okay, tell me about it.
Okay, so in 2021 in Little Rock, Arkansas, John McClane, a white man, shot and killed Marcus Johnson, a 25-year-old Black man, during an argument outside of a convenience store. McClane claimed self-defense, saying he felt threatened. So those are similar. It's similar to what's going on now. They're just older.
What was the sentencing?
5 years. McClane was charged with manslaughter, not murder, and received only 5 years.
What was the situation around the case? See, we can throw out names and we can say it went from murder to manslaughter, but we don't know that he plead guilty for a lower charge. We don't know any of that. So unless we do like a deep dive into that and then compare it to this one, which is impossible because this case isn't over yet, then it's not really getting us nowhere. We just spinning our tires in the dirt. But KDOT has saved you. He said, we don't care about the last 5 years. Their system was built around giving certain people lighter sentences. No research needed. Agreed.
Where's the horn?
Yep. Let me find
yeah,
it.
that makes sense.
He kind of did it, y'all. I can sustain that argument because prohibition. Jim Crow law. I mean, okay. So yeah. Good stuff. See, the chat love you. See, they don't be trying to help me. I know. I'll fight all of you. I'll fight all of you. All right. We got
because you always think you know everything. We don't know everything.
Think I know everything. I just believe I know everything.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to believe in yourself.
You do have to believe in yourself, but you can't. You know what? We're just not even gonna go there.
Hey, I mean, we can fight. You might have a better chance of winning that one than this one. All right, last clip for the night, and this one to really touch the hearts of the constituency right now. This came from No Captivity with Freezer, and it's titled "Should People Be Judged by Who Their Parents Are?" New info: Karmelo, Anthony, and the Metcalf family.
I'll tell you another thing. I actually went to court with my homeboy, right? Years ago. I actually went to court with my homeboy years ago, and he beat a charge because the cop lied on him, and they proved it in court. So are you telling me cops don't lie?
Yes, cops lie, but this cop had his body cam on.
Huh?
You know that, right? This cop had his body cam on.
So
everything. Listen, everything that young man told that cop is on the body cam.
So here's the deal. Right?
So you think? Hold on a second. Let me finish. So what you telling me is the cop had a body cam, and the cop even, from what I understand, the cop was even saying things on the body cam. You know, like even talking out stuff in the body cam also. So you think he just on his report, he just lied on the report, even though there's a body cam.
So in the police report, did it specifically say that cop had a body cam on?
Yeah.
It did. So if I pull it up right now, it'll say he had his body cam on while Karmelo Anthony was talking. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, you should be able to find
because I read it too.
So what you saying?
I read it too. No, hold on, Ronald. I read it too, Ronald.
So what you're saying is that cop didn't have a body cam?
So are you willing to bet $500 that if we pull the report up, it's going to say that he had a body cam on while Karmelo Anthony was talking?
I'm not gonna bet you.
Okay, well, stop it then. Stop. Just stop it, Ronald. Stop it, Ronald.
You know where the first cop came from, right? You know
Ronald,
where the first cop came from?
Ronald, listen, Ronald. First, you said you was not speculating. Ronald, this is terrible. What you're doing,
Freezy, the first cop on the scene. Where did he come from?
All right, so I will break this one down first. Freezy is actually arguing your point, Heather. That we can't believe nothing that the cops are saying. This boy was doing self-defense, and regardless of all that, he need to get off because he's a young black man. And we got too many of them that's getting their life thrown away. This is a teachable moment. We can save this young man. The other caller was saying, oh, no, he did it. He admitted that he did it. The camera got him saying that he did it. There's a video out somewhere that can't nobody seem to find and show that he was malicious.
Well, they need to find it because that needs to show us. That needs to show us how they charged him up. That's what I was saying earlier. Like, everybody always got a phone in their hand, and all of a sudden this shit happens and no one has a phone in their hand.
So I'm going to be honest with you. I think the reason why it's not is because it was seized for evidence. And until this thing gets moving, it's in evidence. I'm pretty sure if it's there, they have it already. That's why we have to wait. Because what happens if we see a whole gang of white folk around this man, pushing him and shoving him, calling him the N-word, pouring Gatorade on his head like a 90s video? Or what if we see him accosting all these good old white folk? Like, what do we do? We do nothing until we can see it, if it's even a video. At the end of the day, all we all are doing is speculating, which is why I kind of felt kind of weird about even covering this, because it's like we are simply saying that we think, based upon our feelings, based upon the history that we choose to believe and choose to deny, that this is what's going on. We got some people that feel like they still on the plantation, and we got some, I'm talking about black people now. So black people, I'm talking to y'all. We have some black people that feel like they are still on the plantation, and then we got some black people who feel like they have never been a slave. And you both can be right at the same time. Every black person that came to America was not slaves. But some people are still slave to their 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking about 9 to 5 where you can go on trips. I'm talking about 9 to 5. You got to show up. You in Section 8 or whatever. You are a slave to that job. Because you lose that job, you lose everything. So I get it. I do get it. All right. Alfonso, you want to speak on this one?
I was just gonna say, like, Karmelo, just, do I agree with him pulling out the knife and stabbing the kid? No. I mean, he could have handled it a lot better. But this thing is it has to be like literally dissected 20 different ways because all the facts ain't out yet. So
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, we're just doing a lot of speculating, going off feelings and emotions. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure we'll be doing an update on this one as time goes on.
Heather.
Yeah.
This is your thoughts on the video, closing thoughts for the video.
So I want to see this video that's in evidence. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, I want to see it because I know that
we don't know if there's
Karmelo,
a video evidence. That's speculation. I'm saying
said
if
that
there
there
is
is
one, I said
okay,
if there
allegedly.
is one, then they're not going to give it out because why would they do that? That's a mistrial. Walking.
Once it hits,
I know y'all
the
probably want that to
courtroom, like, we
happen, so
gonna
he
be
can
able
just
to
walk
see
on
it.
out of there. But
I don't know. Like, I
wouldn't mind it.
how do I work this? Like, I guess. Okay, so there's a lot of what ifs in this situation, and it's still early, right? Because it hasn't even went to trial yet. We're at the very beginning of it, so we really need to see how this unfolds. So this is something we'll be coming back to and discussing on the panel, or just on the regular podcast with the three of us. But I do feel like things could have been different and they weren't. I mean, I'm a strong believer of everything happens for a reason, and maybe God is trying to show him something. He's trying to teach him a lesson. I don't think that he meant to kill Austin. I do feel that maybe Austin and his twin were maybe like being aggressive and it triggered him. I guess at that point you don't really say it's self-defense. Maybe, he just, I don't want to say he has a mental issue, but he blacked out or something. He felt scared, which made him like, stab the kid. But I don't feel like he should go to jail for this. Like, I really don't feel like he should. And I hope that a good attorney catches onto this, or the family reaches out to one. I feel like if he gets a good attorney, he could get this fixed. Like, he doesn't have a criminal record. He's not a bad kid. So, and I would hate for him to go to jail and like spend like life in there. He's 17. Like, he doesn't know what the real world is like. There's just so much for him to still do. Like, that'll ruin him. And I feel like when kids go to jail so early, like, it changes their view of things and how they think of things. And it's like once you go in and you come out, you just keep going back in because that's all you know, especially when you've been there so long. And I don't really think that he deserves that. Like, I feel like he deserves a chance. He cried. He asked if the kid was okay. He showed empathy. So it's not like it was a hate crime or it was out of anger or anything like that, So I don't know. But y'all donate to his GoFundMe so we can get him a good lawyer. because I sure am gonna donate. So y'all donate too.
If I donate, I'll be donating to both because I don't know who's at fault and who's not. That's just me. Y'all do what y'all want. But I will say in closing for this that look, man, we are diving into what could be a shallow pool or deep water. Either way, we are not prepared. Because if we jump from a high enough spot in the shallow water, we're going to hurt ourselves. BLM. Everybody got behind BLM and was like, let's give all our money to BLM. We found out there was 2 women that was married to each other that had some Marxist situation going on. Didn't care nothing about the black family. Bought a whole bunch of houses and cars and called it a day. Or it's going to be way too deep for you to comprehend. What if it is every bad thing that you thought and it is racist? And they actually was like, we finna deal with him, and he did the best he could to protect himself at the moment. That's some deep water. And in Texas, that's gonna be a problem. So either way, we're ill prepared. And the only thing that I can say in closing for this is that make sure above anything else, if you have kids, if you have nieces, nephews, if you have any child that you care for, tell them to keep their hands to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Keep your hands to yourself. If somebody makes you angry because they won't get up, then go snitch on them then. Bring back snitching culture. Snitch on people. Y'all better get to snitching. Y'all better get to taking out their phone and recording. Hey, look at this guy. He won't get up. I'm finna go tell the coach on him instead of trying to do it yourself. And the second thing is, don't stay where you ain't welcome. Stop trying to prove a point. You're not Harriet Tubman. Get off the bus. If it's as bad as you said it was, you need to go report it too. It is 2025. We should not be sitting at the counter and sitting on the bus to make people do something. Get up and go tell somebody. So, again, keep your hands to yourself and do not outstay your welcome and do not frequent where you are not wanted. If either one of them had took either one of those things, both of them would be here right now and they be doing they dumb stuff that kids do because they kids. That's all I'm saying. Anyway. Y'all, we had a good show. Now, I could hold y'all a little bit longer, but it is 52 minutes after the hour. And we are probably going to have to do a part 2 for the relationship part, but that was more for if we had a panel. So I will do it because we did have it all up together. Probably going to be a pre-record, and we are going to dive a little bit deeper into this because we did not even get to the police report, but all the videos got done. So go ahead and close us out, guys. Heather?
Thank you guys for joining, and thank you guys for watching us for a good 2 hours. Thank you to everyone who participated in the conversation and kept the chat going. We really appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like button on YouTube and you share this. Also, make sure you're following us on Instagram.
Alfonso.
Thank you, everybody, for participating. Tonight's show was definitely have to dive back into this one. But thank you for everybody for participating, and y'all have a good night.
At the end of the day, it's always you versus you. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing, and I mean that. It does not matter what anybody else is doing. Do what you have to do to make your life better. Do what you have to do to get home. It's your boy JYG. We out.